Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing an 8-4 Oath of the Gatewatch Battle for Zendikar draft. Coming off of a few, probably like 2 or 3 kind of sloppy draft performances by me. I actually only technically won 2 matches in the last draft, and then the third one was just a no-show from my opponent. So, and I played kind of sloppy. So, let me just say I'm not super confident going into this draft. I need to kind of find my groove again, play a little bit more intelligently. Jory In, Ruin Diver, cool card. I don't know about first picking it. If this were Swiss, I'd slam it, but I don't like first picking a 2-color. I kind of just want the Work Lyric, since I know it's good. Shrieker's good too. There's just a lot of decks. There's only one deck that Jory In goes in. There's a ton of decks that I think Work Lyric goes in. So I'm going to first pick the Work Lyric. Ooh, well, Cliffhaven Vampire is certainly a good one. They work well together. Yeah, this has got to be one of the better ones you can get. Otherwise, Spawnbinder Mage keeps me completely in white. But if you take the Work Lyric, you want to go black-white, and Cliffhaven Vampire is one of the better ones you can get in black-white, I imagine. So we'll take that over the Masterwork, over the Spawnbinder Mage, definitely over the Scythe Master, and anything else. I would almost say Cliffhaven Vampire is the strongest card in this pack. It's kind of tough to say that about multicolor cards when comparing multicolor cards to monocolor cards from a limited pack. I mean, you can just say, yeah, this is the strongest card in the pack. Like, Jory In, certainly the strongest card in the last pack, but not the best pick, especially first pick, because there's not a lot of decks it goes into. Same kind of goes for Cliffhaven Vampire. There's really only one deck that Cliffhaven Vampire goes into. Gonna take it, though. Okay, this is a bit of a mess. So, we can take the Unnatural Endurance. We can take the Holdout Settlement, actually. Holdout Settlement might just be the pick here. There's a Blinding Drone. We have 2 cards right now that really want me to go for black-white. Holdout Settlement lets me get Colorless Matters cards, pick them up. It also lets you splash for a 3rd color. I think I'm actually going to take the Holdout Settlement here. Unnatural Endurance is pretty good. It tends to go later, I think. And the only other pick I think would be Blinding Drone, which really doesn't go with either of my other picks. You know, Flaying Tendrils is actually okay. There's a Boulder Salvo in here. I feel as though Flaying Tendrils can do a lot of work. Hedron Crawler ramps. Gets you colorless. I'm not sure the black-white deck really needs Hedron Crawler. I think I'm going to take the Tendrils. I feel like this deck can do a lot of work. I've been pretty impressed with this card, actually. And if you don't end up main decking it, it's certainly a good sideboard card. There's going to be matches where you're happy you have it. And we're going to take it over Searing Light. I think this tends to go later, too. And Translator isn't exactly what this deck needs, but, I mean, I'd play it if I had to. See other cards, just to kind of get a... Because we're only on pick 3. I just want to kind of get a better idea of where picks are at right now. Salvo and Lagac, a good red and green card. Let's take the Tendrils, though. Well, there's a Mimic. We have the Chain Mage, which is a staple of this deck. I don't think Mimic's worth anything, right? Even though it's played in the Eldrazi Modern deck or whatever. Wow, it got really cheap. It's 80 cents. We're definitely going to take the Chain Mage here over the Scythe Master. Chain Mage lets you get the reach. Wow, Envoy's a huge pickup for us here. Just a wonderful enabler, certainly better than Protector. And just a really nice pickup for us. Okay, I can take the Searing Light now. I like Searing Light more than most. I've probably said that way too many times in the last few drafts, but I have no problem main decking Searing Light, and I actually like main decking it a lot in the black-white deck in particular because you tend to require some setup time, so it's just a really nice way to buy some time. And I don't really care that much about Warden of Geometries most of the time. Okay, we can take a second Chain Mage, or we can take the Seer's Lantern. I think Lantern's probably fine for this deck, but I'll take a second Chain Mage. We're just going to cut on color cards here, try and force our way into black-white if possible. I think we're just going to take the Avenger here. It seems like it's the best card remaining. All right, we'll take the Translator now. Same as before, we're just going to cut the on-color card. Reflection, maybe a sideboard card. Either way, we're just going to cut it. Can main deck it for now. No one really cares about Pyromancer's Assault. I've seen good decks played before with it, but I think we'll just take the Flame Seeker. We are certainly not looking for the same cards that a Pyromancer's Assault deck is looking for, but by that same token, we passed a Jory in first pick, which means someone's going to be motivated to go into it, because Jorian and Pyromancer's Assault are almost assuredly the same deck, so I think someone's going to get hooked up with some Pyromancer's Assault. We're not super susceptible to it, but then again, I guess our Chain Mages and War Cleric die to it. All right, cutting the white card. Certainly not going to main deck 2. I think we're just going to let someone have Bonds of Mortality. All right, pretty successful pack 1. We have some cards I'm not super interested in Dazzling Reflection and Translator, but they're certainly playable in a pinch. And we got good cohort friend in Envoy. We have Cliffhaven Vampire, which is one of the stronger black-white cards. Deceiver of Form, probably taking the Grasp of Darkness, which I think I like more than Oblivion Strike. Spawnbinder Mage in here, but that's okay. I think we're just taking the Grasp. I like Grasp more than Oblivion Strike. It's cheaper. It'd be nice to wield a Spawnbinder Mage. We'll see if that happens. Okay, I could take the Tar Snare. Not a super exciting pick, but then again, nothing in this pack is very exciting for us. I don't think splashing an auxiliary is worth it. Guess we'll take the Tar Snare. Not a very good second pick, but there's, like I said, there's just really nothing in here we care about. All right, well, Isolation Zone is a big pickup for us since it's a very powerful removal spell. Certainly better than Tar Snare. And once again, there's really nothing else on color we're passing, so we'll take it. I guess we're interested in the Alpha Protector more so than the Step Glider. I'd like some more allies. This one also blocks, if you'll recall, this style of the black-white in particular, the cohort build, is just phenomenal in the late game. So picking up stuff that can block and works well with cohort, even with attacks, is particularly ideal. There's Oath of Chandra and Boulder Salvo in here, two very good red cards, and Slaughter Drone, which works fine with the holdout settlement, but we're on board for allies. Okay, I kind of like the Raptor, I think, more than the Step Glider. We don't have any ways to get +1/+1 counters, I think, right? So I'd rather have the Raptor. I don't think Remorseless Punishment, for the most part, is a card I just don't really like that much in general. Some people are still on board with it. I think like maybe a hyper aggro deck could possibly win it, but I definitely don't think a deck like ours wants it. But let's take the Raptor, which we kind of need some more creatures, and I think Raptor here is fine. We're already color intensive, which could be a problem, but currently we don't have any need for holdout settlement. All right, I'm going to take the Spawnbinder Mage over the second Alpha Protector. I'm going to take out the Dazzling Reflection for now, too. I think Spawnbinder Mage looks like a good fit for this deck. Null Caller's fine. I don't really need it. Probably take the Mighty Leap, which I also don't really like, but Witness the End is more of a sideboard card, and Mighty Leap seems fine, I guess. Okay. Not sure I care about any of these. Maybe we'll take the Sweep Away. Well, Timber Gorge isn't going to do anything. Nothing on color. I guess we'll hate the free runner. Does seem like red's open, huh? At least from this direction. From the first pack, I guess it was a little bit open too, but I think we're going to be able to make this deck come together. Perhaps not as good as I had initially hoped, but Walker of the Waste with 0 wastes and only 1 way to get it out. That's probably not good. Guess we'll take the Void Grafter. It's pretty rare that someone's in green-blue, but Void Grafter is a good card. Currently, I'm a little bit less impressed with Flaying Tendrils in our main deck. All right, we'll take the Make a Stand, but we actually have quite a few guys that it kills. Another Pyromancer's Assault. All right, we'll take it. I don't really care if someone plays Ancient Crab against us. I don't think it's that good against us because we just grind players out. So I think we're going to let someone have the blue card that we don't care if they play. There's some matches where those decks are going to be happy, but not against us. All right, Angel of Renewal is at least a huge pickup for us, and nothing else we care about. There is a Nightwatch, but Angel's just got to be better. Huge finisher, certainly better than Defiant Bloodlord. Honestly, we might even wheel the Defiant Bloodlord. And Angel of Renewal and Defiant Bloodlord love each other. That is for sure. Hedron Archive in here, but yeah, it's definitely a nice Angel of Renewal pickup for us. Okay, could take the Sheer Drop. I kind of like it in decks like this that go late, you know, with a good late game plan. So I think I'm going to take that. There's Colostria Healer. We currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Could take the Healer. We need some more early game. What's our removal? Searing Light, Grasp, Flaying Tendrils, which we might not play, Tar Snare, and Isolation Zone. All right, well, Sheer Drop is less synergistic with our deck, but is good. I might actually want the Healer. I think we need to pick up some more allies. And Healer, kind of, I mean, it fits in with the theme of what we're doing. It works well with Cohort. I guess we'll take it. Okay, Courier Griffin seems like a fine pickup, although another 4-drop, not exactly what we need. But it gains life. And it flies. We're going to take it. Powerful blue and green cards in here. Windrider Patrol, Brood Monitor, Stone Fury in red, Smite the Monstrous, which I don't know if we'll wheel, but I wouldn't mind if we did. Class 3 Nightwatch is actually a good pickup for us. Works well with all the life gain we have. Yeah, it's actually just a nice fit for our deck. Now we're getting to the point where I think we want to be 18 lands. Tendrils is going to be better, though, if we have a higher top end. But still, there's quite a few guys that die to it. Doesn't this exile, too? That's nice. It exiles the creatures you hit. Medic, I mean, Medic fits in, actually. It blocks early, it gains life. Nothing else in here we care about. We'll take the Medic. It's not an ally, though. Works well with Nightwatch. Works well with Cliffhaven. Blocks early. So cards I'd prefer not to main deck. Probably don't want to main deck the Mighty Leap or the Make a Stand, really. I don't think this is a Mighty Leap or Make a Stand deck. But, I mean, Make a Stand strong. Protects you from removal. It also acts as like a finisher, a combat trick. So it's like, it's versatile, but when you're a deck that comes as late as ours does, I'm not exactly sure. But we might just end up playing it because we're a bit short on playables. We'll find out. Unified Front. Not great, but guess could take it. I don't really like it for us. But I don't feel like hating a pick either. We really just don't need another 4-drop, especially one that we're almost assuredly only going to be able to cast for 2. But I'm not going to play an Altar's Reap, I don't think, right? Maybe we could use the card draw. Yeah, I guess I'm not playing Unified Front. We'll take the Reap just in case we need it. It's not really the deck that you'd want Altar's Reap for, but I just don't think we're playing Unified Front. It's a late benthic infiltrator. Definitely seemed like blue was open pack 1 and 3, and red was open pack 2. Maybe red was open pack 1 and 3 as well. We're going to take the tandem tactics. I guess it's a little bit better for us than like... Maybe we'd rather main deck make a stand instead of tendrils, and then sideboard into tendrils. Guess we can do that. Actually, I guess Altar's Reap's not really something we're stoked to play. All right, I guess we'll take the Dutiful Return in case, although not very high chance I sideboard that. Maybe we just hated Grove Rumbler, which is good. All right, I'm not going to play Inspire Charge. I think we're just going to hate an Infiltrator, which is a good card. All right, we were definitely competing, but it kind of feels like you're always competing. Red was definitely open. Blue was definitely open. Pathway Arrows is a good sideboard card. So yeah, the problem with playing the black-white archetype is just expect that you're going to be competing. It's very rare, I think, that you will be able to draft this archetype and not be competing. And the main reason that is because it's in my opinion, I think it might be the best archetype in the format because it's got great removal spells. It's got one of the best grindy late game plans you can ask for. Like, even though we were heavily competing, I still think our deck is pretty good. I actually think our deck turned out fine. We're going to end up playing 18 lands only because I kind of feel like we can pretty easily, and it's not going to be a big deal. Let's separate creatures. I'm going to do my new evaluation system where I'm going to be judging creatures, removal, synergy, and curve. And if people want to add more to that, that I should judge. I think this is the deck right now, though. So we ended up with the weakest cards being like Altar's Reap and Translator in our deck. Main deck Tendrils could cause a problem, but it also could come up big for us. Make a Stand and Tandem Tactics. It's not great having combat tricks in a deck that does not have a boatload of creatures. Could use Dazzling Reflection, but I probably would prefer Make a Stand. Okay, so let's get our lands going. So we've got double. I think we're just going to do an even split because we've got pretty much equal. We're not going to run Holdout Settlement because there's no need. So 9/9 is even what they say. All right, let's judge by creatures. So my creatures are pretty good. A little bit that's the curve part. Just judging on allies, I wish we had a little bit more of a cohesive ally theme. We're a little bit light on that, but we did get some powerful cards. We have a decent grind plan. I'm going to rate our creatures at about... our creatures are pretty good. I wish we started a little bit early. We had a little bit more. I think because we were getting cut, I can only give it about a 7. If we judge our removal, I think our removal is actually pretty good. Light, Grasp, Tendrils, Isolation Zone, Tar Snare. But then we have like Altar's Reap, Tandem Tactics, Make a Stand. I think our removal could have been a little bit better. I'm going to give our removal a 6 out of 10. I'm going to give I think our curve is only okay though. Curve, I'm going to rate a little bit lower than normal. Just because I feel like we're a little bit top heavy. It's not horrible. I guess it could be. I'm only going to give it about a 6 out of 10. And then finally, we've got synergy, which we're only okay. Like, this deck wants a lot more synergy, I think. So considering we're a black-white archetype, I'm going to judge it, which is a very synergistic, centric kind of archetype. I think I have to rate it a little bit lower than normal. We only got 1 Work Lyric, 2 Chain Mages, and no other cohort. So I'm only going to, and I guess a Spawn Binder too. So we have 4 cohort cards, but I think we could have used some more. I'm only going to give us a 5.5 out of 10 because this deck, like I said, is very synergy based, and I feel like we could have gone deeper on that or had hoped to gone deeper on that. So synergy is like, what did I say? 6 or was it 5.5? Maybe 5.5 out of 10. So if we put that all cumulatively together, I actually don't think this deck is super high. It would be like, if we want to get specific, like give it a letter grade, I think it would get about maybe a D plus. I'd give it probably a 68% in terms of power level, overall power level. So 68%, not particularly good, but it certainly can win. So we're going to play it like this and see how we do. No sideboard plan really, I guess, either. But, yeah, I think this is how we run it. So playing it like this, we'll see you round 1.